Well, good evening. My name is Connor, and tonight we will be making some Warhammer 40,000 models. Tonight we'll be doing a very, very lovely full setup for miniature models that were from mid-90s to early 2000s. Truthfully, I don't know when these ones were made, however, it was quite a while ago. Tonight we have some Valhallan guards with meltaguns. My boys are quite old. They are 80-31M Valhallan Guard with meltagun. They are quite pretty looking. We also have some Valhallans with missile launchers. (8040W) Valhallan with missile launcher. You might be concerned at the price that I paid for these. However, know that these were a graduation present from me, seeing as how I recently graduated. These are Valhallan Guards with Heavy Bolter, 8040L. These ones have yellowing on the plastic because they are, I'm assuming, the oldest of the bunch. They are quite old, but these ones I feel are going to look the prettiest, even though the packaging might not express it as such. And then finally, we have some Valhallans with assault weapons. You can see one poked his head right through the packaging. He just can't wait to get out. And all of them are looking quite snazzy with their full trench coats. Now, I've been playing 40K for about a year now, but I've been playing miniature games for much longer. I've been playing Flames War since 20... what year is it? 2020? It would have been 2014. Very, very long time. I've been playing Flames War is what I started out with my father. So I just kind of hit you with the paper. Also, you'll have to excuse the nail gun sounds in the background because my neighbor decided to, on a Saturday, or excuse me, hey, never mind, it's Monday. Excuse me. They decided to actually have jobs and actually be productive members of society out there and are re-roofing their house. So I just kind of have to wait. It's really not that big of a problem. Now, like I was saying with my dad, I played Flames War with him. That was the first war game I ever played, and I ruined the models. Oh man, I did not know what I was doing, so I just kind of slathered them with paint, and it was atrocious. However, I moved on. I grew up. I kept going. It's been quite a while. Now I didn't get into 40K until very recently. I played a lot of World War II themed games before I played 40K. And luckily, I moved on to 40K. Yeah, I'm going to move you down so you can see what's going on the table instead of looking at my face. So, we have one Valhalla Ice Warrior with a really cool Sonic Blast looker. Can the camera focus? Can I make it focus? It does not want to focus, unfortunately. However, he looks very, very angry. You will see the final product of his anger sooner or later. We have another Valhalla Ice Warrior. Can I get it to focus? Come on, look at the face. Look at the face. Can I get it to focus? Come on. Come on, focus for me. You know you wanna. Nah, it just does not want to focus today. It's very unfortunate, but that's alright. And he has a quite neat looking plasma rifle of some kind. And then this man here, he has a very lovely auto shotgun. Now I know you can't really see anything, and that's very unfortunate. I am quite sorry about that. However, we'll figure what I can do in post and see if I can just put some high quality pictures on there. You'll notice I have a file right here. For the people here who have done metal models, you know this is for grinding down burrs. If you are new, then on small models, such as these metal ones like this, there are very small burrs. You can see a little chunk of metal right there. Right here. And those are very, very big pains in the butt for most things. And I, myself, get rid of them. There are some people who don't. However, I prefer to. I think it makes it look better. Next up, we have some Valhalla guard with heavy bolters. Now, I feel genuinely awful for taking these out of their packaging. However, in my mind, there are certain things that should just be played with. Like, for those of you who are into Magic, a Black Lotus, first edition, you know, Alpha Black Lotus. That is an absurdly rare card that you should never play with, because it's an absurdly rare card that is extraordinarily expensive. However, a 4th edition Black Lotus is not nearly as rare, and should be played with. And that's just the way that I feel about it. Now, these guys, I've already looked it up. They aren't really worth much more than I paid for them. And there's no real need for me to lose my marbles and go, these need to be packaged for forever. They were originally intended to be played with, and therefore, I'm going to play with them, because that's their job. We have these men with a heavy bolter. We have one guy right here. Lasgun, obviously, because good old Imperial Guard Lasgun. And then we have ourselves one troop. He is laying down with his feet up on a bolter. And this heavy bolter right here is very pretty. Absurdly pretty piece of machinery. They did quite a good job with these original cast production models. These much older models. They make them look real pretty. Now we have some Valhallan guards with meltaguns. I should mention, I'm not the biggest fan of the Valhallan guard. They are neat. And they are quite interesting. However, they're not like one of my top 10 favorites. My top 10 favorite would literally just be the Krieg Death Corps. 9 times in the Catachans and securing 10th. Because I am a very big fan of World War I trench coats. However, I do have a soft spot in my heart for some good old-fashioned Soviets. And these are about the closest you can get to Soviets in 40K. Now, I should mention, this man looks very angry. I'm certain that I'll put up some much better pictures, because this camera is not doing me any favors by trying to focus. However, I do have a soft spot for Soviets, and 40K, this is about the closest I can get to them. Now, I will also say, I play Kill Team. So this is pretty much everything I need for a kill team, point-wise. Now I have a few things, such as, allow me to pull it over here. I have this. Very lovely Armored Sentinel Walker that I gave a pool of water to stand into. Now you will notice that he is double strapped. He has both a flamer and an autogun, because my favorite phrase is, if freedom ain't ringing, this chopper gonna start singing. Now I'm a very big fan of mech walkers. Mech Assault is one of my favorite games. And I will say that that's what that reminded me of. So that's why I ended up grabbing him. He was more fun to paint than he was to play. As a matter of fact, truthfully, he's really not all that great in the game. They're all right. Now, last but not least, are men with missile launchers. This one is the one that will end up holding the missile launcher. If you can't tell by the big hole. And this dude, he's just chilling with his las gun and his rocket shells. And then here we have the proper rocket. Now, with them all out of the way, we can start filing. So filing, when you're filing, you want to make very short and proper strokes across the metal. Now, my hint, or what I'm trying to do here with this channel, is I would like to have I would like to be showing this for people who are already understanding of how to put together models and things, but tend to get lonely, or they don't have people to build their models with, and therefore they like to watch videos, but videos never get really fun because then they just get sidetracked. I'd like to make one where it is for people who don't have friends to build models with, and they can just sit here and they can watch videos and they can be working on models with someone, because I've had my fair share of days where it truly felt like there was nothing to do, and putting together models just made you feel more lonely than it did anything else. So that's what I'd like to do with this. Now, as I was saying about my Valhallans, these guys are kind of old, if you can't tell. Metal casts are not really a thing much anymore. And I'm not the biggest fan of Valhallans. Like I said, I like Krieg. Krieg is cool. Yeah. This guy is just about done. And if any of you actually do want tutorials on how to make these minis, how to do little things such as like painting tutorials or anything, I don't see myself as an amazing painter. I see myself as kind of a generally middle of the road average painter. So I'm not really thinking that I'm gonna do great with all those newfangled techniques. I use pretty basic ones. But for any beginners, if you would like for me to do that, I can do that. This is my first video. I've made a few videos before, but they've all been gaming related. I don't know though. I'm pretty mediocre at this stuff. I really enjoyed doing it. I really got into the 40K lore. 40K lore is just something that is so daunting to look into. It's so much stuff. So much. But once you actually get into it, it really latches on and becomes a lifelong hobby, if you will. Now, these guys are actually really easy to clean up. Most of my older models were much harder to put together. However, these guys are doing mighty easy job, actually. These guys line up really well into their bases, and really they just don't require much work at all. They're real simple guys. This one I feel might take a little bit of work because I have to have some really smooth surfaces for the glue to go on and take hold. However, this guy, top part is pretty easy. There's a wheel right here. I hate long burrs like this because they unless you cut them off or you bend them off, they're kind of just a pain to do. Now, like I was saying earlier, my dad is the one who got me into miniatures. And he started me out on Flames War, a World War II tabletop game. And I remember the first time I ever played with him, I hated it. I thought it was the worst. I thought that I lost real bad because I had no concept of tactics. I think my infantry ended up rushing two of his machine gun squads right out of their half tracks that also had machine guns. So like I was not very good at it, and I wasn't playing Soviets at that time. So like rushing a machine gun wasn't a good idea. If you play Soviets, of course it's a good idea. Everything's a good idea. Soviet bias is real. However, it was quite a good time, I will say. I enjoyed it. The second time we played, and then the third time we played, I got more and more into it. And that year, for my birthday, he gave me a whole box. And like I said, I ruined it. It looked awful. I had no clue of what to hold my minis in. I didn't know what to use with my minis. I used hot glue, and I used dollar store paints. Black, brown, blue, and red, I think was all the colors. So like they had red guns. And they had like black uniforms, like pitch black uniforms, and brown boots, and it was atrocious. Oh man, I'm pretty sure he was so disappointed in what I ended up doing with him. But I stripped him, and I tried again, and then I tried again, and I tried again, and I tried again, and every time I got just a little bit better. I learned little techniques such as buying not dollar store paints. That was a good technique. That was really hard to master. I learned brushstroke placement, and I learned to not use such big brushes. I used to learn, like, I used to use brushes that, I kid you not, the tip was like the same size as the file. Like, it was absurd. It was huge. And I learned to use so much smaller ones. I learned that if you wait for the paint to dry, it won't bleed, which was hard for me to learn. I will say one of the problems with doing metal minis is that you often end up with just a smattering of little tiny shavings. Man, they never really go away. They will be there forever. It's just like glitter. It'll never go away. You'll always. I still have metal shavings on some of my paintbrushes from years ago. I got into. Let me. All the games that I'm into. Well, I have Flames War stuff, though I hardly ever use it anymore. I kind of got out of the hobby. The new rule edition really didn't sit well with me, and I didn't particularly like it very much, so I stopped playing it. I did that. Man, what else? I play Star Wars Legion. My dad got me into that one too. Now, obviously, I play Separatists. I got myself a General Grievous back here. However, I don't really play it on account that the quarantine happened right when I started to actually get minis done. So I was unfortunate in not being able to really play very much. However, me and a few of my close friends have done some little skirmish battles with them. So, it's all right. I'll get to play it here sooner or later. Now, I play 40K. I play Kill Team, but I don't play big 40K. See, I realized very quickly that I like to play a lot of factions. Like, I love the Tyranids. I think the Tyranids are the coolest thing ever. I love the Orcs because when I want to be silly, I don't want to play, Custodians. Like, why would I play Custodians if I want to be all goofy? if I'm gonna be goofy, I'm gonna play orcs, obviously, because orcs are just truthfully the greatest faction. They make the least sense, but man, they're fun. You can't be a salty orc player. It's impossible. You have to have fun with the orcs. If you don't have fun with the orcs, then you're never gonna win as the orcs. Who else? I really love playing custodians. I don't currently have any custodians, unfortunately. However, I do love some custodians. They're some of my favorite looking faction. They just look so pretty with that gold. They truly are just some absolutely beautiful models. I have to go get a brush to clean these with, so I will be back momentarily. And we are back. I went to go get a brush, however I did not find a brush, so as it stands currently, I will have to use Q-tips, which I do not like using. Now, I tend to use WD-40. WD-40 I found works quite alright on trying to get rid of all the little shaving bits. However, it does make it incredibly slippery. So you gotta right after, you gotta give it a little run down with the other side of the Q-tip, just so it doesn't get, too messed up or anything. Yeah. Yeah, just real simple, real easy, just a little bit of a wipe down, basically. Now, unfortunately, tonight we will not be able to finish these guys. We just had to get them unboxed and cleaned up. We will be moving over to finishing some Necrons that I have for a friend. I will be getting those done for a close friend of mine. He commissioned me. We will be getting those primly and properly done. We'll say I do love with these guys that they're already assembled. Really, not a lot of assembly that has to be done. You just kind of take them out, clean them up real quick, paint them, and play. Real simple stuff with these guys. I do like metal models for that fact. But when you do have assembly, oh, it's just a pain. Well, that's all right. That's okay. This guy's shotgun looks really cool. I'll say that. Can't wait to paint these guys. Those guys are, well, we got one or two others that still need to get a little bit of a wipe down. Yeah, his rifle was a little bit dirty. I will say that the rest just need a quick rinse in water. This guy needs just a little bit of a wipe down on that section. Other than that, he's good. So it's real easy. Truly, it's not that hard actually with these guys. However, we will be right back because I will be getting some miniatures swapped out. So, goodbye for now. And we are back. Well, I hope wherever y'all are, it's a mighty good day, or evening, or afternoon, morning even. I don't really know who wakes up early and starts painting. I sure don't. Now, get the paper towels out. Where did that rascal go? I seem to have lost my painting tray. Well, that sure is mighty unfortunate. Where could I have put it? It's back here. It's back there. Don't worry, y'all. It got found. It got found just fine. So now we're just gonna finish up with some Cadians. They just need to get painted. They've been sitting around for about a month or so. Need to get themselves finished up. We got a little arm paintbrush. Where did my flesh tone go? There we go. Right there. This little rascal's hiding from me too. Can't tell, I use quite a bit of flesh tone. My guys tend to have some very fleshy faces. So it'll take about 3 or so layers worth of painting on this bad boy right here to get himself nice and prettified. I like to do a few thin layers as compared to one thick layer. That's just because that's what my dad taught me. So I had a little time doing that. Pretty easy actually. Just a little bit of layer. This guy right here. Even though he has his face already done, there's a little section I seem to have missed. That's alright. It's alright. Not everything can be perfect all the time. Bob Ross once said. And I like Bob Ross. He's one of the guys that I watch whenever I'm feeling down. You know, y'all let me know in the comments if y'all feel around to it. Let me know in the comments if you like this kind of setup. I don't mind doing it. I like talking and painting when it feels like there's other people. Definitely makes the time go by faster and definitely makes it feel more fun. If anybody out there kind of likes to see, that's it. To be honest, I don't even need one viewer, because at the very least I'm enjoying these. That's alright. If other people can get enjoyment out of it too, that's about all that matters. Let's get these here hands painted. And then just a little bit of that, a little bit of that loving paint. You know, it's mighty nice. It's mighty calming. Painting. One of my favorite hobbies. That and I like airsoft. Airsoft's kind of fun. I like running too. Running's another one of my favorites. And I know a lot of people don't like running, and that's mighty understandable. Running is kind of a chore to most. However, I kind of enjoy it because it gives me a chance to clear my mind, and it lets me get out some of the pent up frustrations I have. Same reason why I like weightlifting. You know, just kind of nice. Now I always laugh at this. Oh no, that's so much. That's too much paint. I gotta get that off. That's alright though. We're going right back. I always love laughing at these little guys, because they, the way that they model these here hands, they got really long fingers on the foregrip. They're, on the front section. It's got just got absurdly long fingers for some reason. Here, let me move you up so you can see what my hands are doing. I'm certain y'all'd like to be able to see that. Here, let me show you. Will it focus? Here, maybe if I try and get super close. Give it only one thing to focus on. Gonna focus? Nah, it's just not gonna focus. That's alright though. Don't really got it. I'll put a picture of them long fingers anyways. It'll be fine. you know, mighty fine. Yeah. So unfortunately, I'll only be able to maybe get out here a few videos or so. Probably maybe 3 or so before I head off to basic, because I'm shipping off for the army. But once I get out of AIT, once I get out of basic and all that jazz, I'll restart making videos again. I do quite enjoy this, quite a lot actually. If there's any other content y'all like to see, you know, you can just leave it in the comments. I play a lot of games. I play like I play Arma a little bit, and Rainbow Six. Though I kind of stopped playing Rainbow Six after a little while. Recently, I've been playing Warzone. It's popular, and my friends are playing it, so I figured I might as well hop on and play a little bit. Been enjoying Warzone. It's been pretty alright. I kind of like the plunder game mode. I definitely feel like it's a mighty fun one. It feels quite nice to do that. I don't know. I enjoy the fast-paced action with a very long combination of grind. You know, it's real simple. It's you're just trying to get money. I enjoy looting more. I got a couple friends named Shane. He's a good guy. When I play with him, he's the one who gets all the kills. I'm normally the one who gets all the money out. I do a lot more with money. I'll run through the loots, and I'll run to find contracts, about as many as I can. So I normally at the end of the game, he'll sit there and he'll have 10 or 11 kills, and I'll be sitting there and I'll have maybe one. Not even normally. I don't really ever get kills. I try and stay away from them conflicts. But I'll almost always end out with a few. I'll be almost bored in a million, or I'll have made a million. I normally do quite a bit of that, and the thing about Shane is Shane doesn't really like to go and kill someone and then take their guns and their money and all that. He doesn't really do that. He just likes to get the kills, and then he'll ping wherever their stuff is, and I'll go and get it. So he'll end out with the game with maybe making $100,000, but I almost always end out the game with all the money he earned through kills, and all the money I earned through contracts, and then all the loot crates and all that jazz. It's pretty nice. I enjoy it. I used to be a real big Battlefield fan up until this most modern one, the Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5 is it was sure a shame. I don't like to get into politics, especially if I'm going to do YouTube stuff. So I'm not going to get into the reveal trailer that is very, very controversial. However, I will say I did not like that the company refused to accept backlash and called a bunch of people childish and immature, when truthfully the person in charge of it was being more mature by saying either if you don't like it, don't buy the game. Well, I'm not going to comment on whether or not I like the real trailer. I will completely leave that up to your own imagination. However, I did not like that phrase, because it's a company, and I used to own stocks in DICE and in EA. I used to own stocks in them, and I cannot tell you how fast I pulled my stocks. Once that thing came out, unfortunately, my return was not very good with that, but that's all right. That's mighty all right. Sometimes you can't get a good return. I will say, when I did have my stocks in what's it called? Activision. Activision is pretty alright. They gave me a pretty solid return. Though I'll also say my oh man, my my return from Amazon was quite good. I do like Amazon. They offer one heck of a stock deal. They do quite well. If you are into that kind of stuff, I will say one of my favorite channels that explains some pretty complex topics in a very easy and quick to understand way is there's a channel called Company Man. Now he's much bigger than me. I'm pretty sure he's bordering on 1 million subscribers now. But I've been watching his channel since I think since his new Coke video. I think that was the first one that I ever watched from him. That was a few years ago. I think that's a 3-year-old video. I've enjoyed watching his videos. His videos are mighty good. They explain pretty well. Now they're done with them flesh tones. I guess I might have poured a little bit too much paint. But that's all right. You know, a little bit of waste isn't that big of a problem. Now I think we're gonna go on to we're either gonna go on to the armor or we're gonna go on to the guns. I think I'm gonna go on to armor first. Might do their pants too, because their pants need to get done. That one is Cygor Brown is what I chose for that. It looks mighty alright. Now, I don't like these bottles made by Games Workshop, but I really love their paints. These contrast paints are a godsend. They make everything much easier, much quicker, much easier. A lot better. I will say I really do enjoy these paints. Now, that being said, I hate their bottles. Their bottles are awful. They're just such a pain to try and work with. But I figured out that you can just kind of drop a few of the drops right on into your paint palette. Or for me, it's a cake decorative palette because I got taught by my dad. That's a mighty easy substitute for an expensive paint palette, since you don't really need that much paint for these minis. Yeah, you can just drop a few drops right on in there. Go on about your painting. Now I think these guys I'm gonna do in the very standard Cadian guard group. Now I don't really know anybody out there ever really got into the Talern Desert Raiders. Man, they're one of my favorites. I know I said that if I could choose to have top 10 list, it'd be Krieg 9 times and Katachan once. But if I were to add one more to that, I'd add the Talent Desert Raiders. Cadia's cool and all. They have a kind of cool thing, but to me, honestly, the story of Cadia is cool, but the Cadians, they're just so bland to me. They're like cookie cutter soldiers. I like flavor within my regiments, which I know doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's just kind of my thing. Now, I do not know quite how long this video is going to end up being. Probably going to end up being pretty long. A few hours, maybe. A couple hours. Now, if any of y'all are wondering, by the way, my rig, my PC, is actually really quite a mediocre one. It's a Ryzen 5 2600. I wanted to go for the 3600 variant, or I think it was 32,000 actually, or the 3200, excuse me. I think it was that one actually, but I wanted to go for that, but then I kind of realized that honestly, I don't really need that. This the machine that I have currently is pretty much capable of whatever I need it to be. It can't run Warzone right now, but then again, I only play Warzone on my Xbox. I don't play Warzone on PC because, well, PC is nice. I like my PC more for single player type games. So, I'm not super worried. Can run Siege if I ever needed to run Siege. Runs Battlefield real well. Battlefield 1, that is, because to me Battlefield 1 is my favorite. Besides Battlefield Bad Company. Battlefield Bad Company is also a very good, very good game. By far one of my top tens. Easily one of my top tens. So, little tip real quick. Whenever you get to pouches like that, I like to do the edge in a thick layer, or maybe go over it twice, just to give the illusion, the coloring of a really thick seam line. And I do that because I'm quite basic with that. Excuse me, I need to trim my brush. There are a few sections that are popping off kind of bad. There we go. Now, if y'all can't tell, I kind of like talking. Talking is one of my favorite things to do. I hope that my talking will give at least one or two people comfort in this here quarantine. Like I said previously, I don't want to get into politics on this channel. If people cared about my politics, then I'd become a politician. However, it just ain't a thing yet. Instead, I do believe I will sit here right on ahead and I'll just paint. This here quarantine really sucks. What challenge you put it through. The amount of mental health problems that have sprung up from this here, it's been pretty bad. I hope all y'all out there are safe. Ain't none of y'all are sick or nothing. I really do hope y'all are doing alright. And just like that, this man has himself some nice, mighty brown pants. There we go. Yeah, set him off to the side, move on to the next. All these guys have to get their pants done. Now I will say I think this brown might be just a little bit too dark. A little bit darker than what I was thinking. But it's kind of got that earthy tone that I was hoping for. That's what I was hoping would give it. Now I know that normally they have tan. However, I do not like the color tan, especially next to green. It's one of the reasons why I don't like Cadians very much, or Cadian armies. That just bland tan color with green, which is a much more nice, kind of, how would you describe that? It's not braceful, but more like a interesting. or proper military style color as compared to these here bad boys. I will say, Guy Fieri is one mighty proper guy for doing what he's done. He raised, I think it was over $3 million in relief funds for people who got unemployed because of the COVID. He got a lot of people a break that they severely needed. He helped a lot of small businesses, and he helped a lot. I wish the man would run for president. I will say he'd have my vote for that. Our mayor, Flavortown, could definitely become the president of the flavor country. I will say, I don't quite know what the national food of the flavor country would be. I love biscuits and gravy. That's one of my favorites. I like biscuits, gravy. I like a good meaty steak. Steaks are good. But even on some days, I like salads. Maybe even some nice chicken breasts. Those are good. I don't know. Oh, but as I was saying with my gaming rig, my PC, I have a RX 570 in there. I know it's not anything crazy. I know it's not like a GTX, 1060 or a 2080 Ti or nothing. It's nothing too fancy. It gets the job done. You can use it to edit videos. Use it just enough. Gives me just the amount of power I need. It'll run Arma. It'll run Rainbow. It'll run it has a real tough time, but it'll run Warzone. It's definitely having a hard time with Warzone though. It does not do very good with Warzone, but it'll run just fine. There's this got a nice little motherboard in it. Honestly, I can't remember what the motherboard is. Truthfully, I can't remember. Yeah, see, I got a pre-built that I upgraded. So I don't know how to boot, and I don't really know how to do any of that stuff for like I don't really know how to do any of that stuff for tech. I'm kind of smart, but I'm still kind of new to that computer thing right there. I can program just fine. It's the funny thing. I know how to program. I know how to run diagnostics and all that. I just don't know how to boot. That's all right. I guess I'll have to learn at one point or another. But I didn't want to have to go through all that trouble, so I just decided. Plus, I wanted to have warranty and all that jazz, just that way I could make sure that if if anything was wrong, I knew it wasn't my fault. But kind of realized pretty quickly that the pre-built I got was not all too great, and I kind of realized that I would have to upgrade it quite a bit. So I went from a Ryzen 3, which, in all fairness, is not that bad. It's pretty okay. Ryzen 3 3600, solid CPU. And I think it was a GT 710. It was some real awful little thing. It was meant for like home computers, something that was just gonna, need some real light duty. It wasn't meant to be running no games or no no Battlefields, no Call of Duties, none of that. Dad makes fun of me for that. You know, it does. It's quite a good job. So, but I realized that if I wanted to play games, I was gonna have to. I was gonna have to upgrade. So that's what I did. A little bit of an upgrade. Really, only a little bit. It wasn't too expensive. Next thing I'm gonna end up getting, if I do end up getting anything else for a little while, is I'll get a 1060, either 1060 or maybe if I really end up waiting a good little bit before I end up getting anything, I might get a 2060. Truthfully, I don't see it really being that big of a problem. And also, the reason why I went with AMD instead of Intel is because, in all reality, I like AMD just a little bit better because, well, it's cheaper. It's pretty much the exact same. In almost all regards, it's the same. And even if they still have some problems, their warranty is still pretty okay. So, I'm not super worried that they'll end up. Even if I did get something that was real busted or, you know, kind of screwed up or nothing, it wasn't gonna take me all that long. Just a little bit of work. You know, just send it back. They'll send me a new one. It's all cool. I will say, the Linus Tech Tips video, one of my favorites from his is him talking about how to fix a CPU, and he fixes a Ryzen CPU by like replacing some pins and stuff. Yeah, no, it's one of my favorites from his. It's a mighty funny video. And you know, if y'all have any questions or any tangents you'd like me to go on, or anything you'd really like for me to hear, excuse that sound in the background. That would be my brother. He was going to his room. If there's any tangents you'd like me to go on, or anything you'd like for me to discuss or talk about, just feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll read every single one of them, no matter how many there are. I really do enjoy. I do enjoy interacting, and I do enjoy. I'll respond if I see necessary. I don't assume this video is going to get too many views. Maybe a dozen or so, but I'll just keep on uploading. So I might have said this before. I live in the beautiful country of Texas. And if you're a Texan, you know exactly why I'm making that statement. And if you're from anywhere else, really, you're probably looking at your computer screen really confused as to why I said that. My Marylanders, I don't really know what y'all get called by, but y'all also know what I'm talking about. You love your state a little bit more than you love your country. I do love Texas quite a bit, but I like the U.S. also. You know, it's pretty okay too. Yeah, no, I think I mentioned that I'm from Texas, and I do love Texas quite a bit. I'll miss the Great Plains, Texas, the nice sunsets. You know, of all the places I've been quite around the U.S. But I will say the Texas sunsets, completely and utterly unbeatable. And the song is true for any of y'all that aren't from Texas. The stars at night are very big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. But only in the heart of Texas. If you're on the Oklahoma border, they're not nearly as pretty. You gotta be in like Dallas or Waco. Even better yet, if you know, Waco's kind of funny. I've been there a few times, and I still like to go to the scene of the Waco siege, just to look at it. A lot of people died there. It doesn't really matter if they're good or they're bad. You're gonna have to excuse the dog's barking. It would seem as if though that anybody anywhere moved, so they're quite upset. Allow me just one moment. I'm gonna go see what they're barking at. I'll be right back. Alrighty then, boys and girls, we are back. The dogs just seem to be really enjoying barking at the moment. There was there's nobody out there, but that's just what dogs do sometimes, you know. And we're gonna get right back into the painting, just a little bit. And the roofers finally stopped, so there should no longer be that loud noise. There will probably be family noises on account that my father just got back. One of the things that I always hate about painting is that I almost always nick, so the bootstrap, the top of the boot, basically the line right in the middle. I almost always get paint onto the boot. I wish I could figure out a way to not do that, but I guess just kind of the way it goes, you know. I hope y'all don't take me for being too much of a stick up with my painting. I just have mighty high expectations for myself. All that experience has kind of made it so I'm pretty good at it, but I'm not. I'd say good as in reference to the average. I'm slightly above or equivalent to normally. I wouldn't say that I'm, like anything too crazy. Like I would never really do commissions for like commercial sale or anything. I do commissions for like, I don't know, friends who really like my artwork, and people who are close and know that I'll give them every ounce of my effort in an attempt to try and make sure that it gets done properly. Yeah. But other than that, no, I like to... Oops, dropping it. I like to try and keep it as, keep it as local as possible. I really... my wee dogs, they like to bark all the time. It's just what they like to do. To be fair, if your dogs don't like to bark, I don't really know if they're dogs then. And I know there's ways to train them to not bark, but we don't really mind them barking. We live pretty far away from... We live in a neighborhood, but we don't really live next to a whole lot of people. Most people that we live next to are all airmen on the base, or NCOs for the base. We live next to an Air Force base, if you were concerned with what that was in reference to. And if you don't know what an NCO is a non-commissioned officer. Yeah, your sergeants, your petty officers, guys like that. Like sergeants, staff sergeants, tech sergeants, master sergeants. Well, master sergeants aren't. Yeah, no. Sergeants, staff sergeants, tech sergeants. Yeah, we got a lot of Air Force guys around here. We got a few Army too. A few Army, few Navy. Not a lot of Navy though. I'll say that. A few Army. And I don't know, a couple Marines. We don't really have a lot of Marines here. I'll say I respect the Marines a lot. They're freaking crazy. And severely rather than be on our side than on an enemy side. They are some absurdly good fighters. Though most of the Marines I know are better being comedians than they are fighting. A lot of the Marines I know are just really funny people. A lot of good jokes. And to be fair, I guess that humor does come with a cost. I have to put up with a lot of hazing. That's one of the things in the Marines. There's a lot of hazing in it. Every person I know that's in the Marines or was in the Marines had to deal with some variant of hazing, because we dogs, they just really enjoy barking. Can't you tell I'm filming a video right now? Nah, it's alright. It's alright. Alright. And the pants are all done. So now we move on to well, actually I do believe that that's just about the end here. If you'd like, you can come back tomorrow. I will probably have the next part of this video posted within the next couple days after this one's posted. I will be finishing the rifles and the carapace armor. More than likely. I think I might try and go for a full finish. Maybe a few touch-ups will get left for another video. But allow me to just say, with the utmost thanks, that I appreciate you coming to watch the videos. I'm hoping that you enjoyed it, that you got some use out of it, and truthfully, I would really just like that any of y'all if you've had a good time, if you've enjoyed listening to me talk and ramble on for this good little while, drop a like, comment how your day has been, if there's anything that you'd like for me to talk about or for me to do. I'm more than willing to take suggestions, and if you're really feeling frisky, then feel free to subscribe. It's quite free. Other than that, I have thought of the idea of maybe trying to do a Twitch stream for this. I do get up a lot though, so I don't know how well that would work. But if any of you would like to see that happen, I can see what I can do to try and make a Twitch stream happen. But other than that, I do appreciate it, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.